Hello there. Come here, my little friend. Don't be afraid. Yeah, this is weird. I'm recording right now. Hi, welcome back to Star Wars in a Galaxy. We're not doing the back half of the Clone Wars, this week, if you can tell, because we're not all together right now. Jacob cannot record this week. He has another situation that prevents him from recording this week. Don't worry, he is still the co-host. He is just not going to be available for this week. He's going to be back next week. We're going to do some more Hard Hidden in a Galaxy with our next episode about the back half of the Clone Wars movie. That will be coming out next week. This week, I tried to figure out something, and there was that trailer, the Mandalorian trailer, which was released this past week. The sneak peek, the 60-second sneak peek. And I know a lot of people were disappointed with that sneak peek, and I am too, because, it didn't reveal a lot. It was not a lot of new footage. We didn't get a lot. But I'm not one to dwell on the negative a lot. I like talking about the positive stuff for Star Wars. And I thought it would be fun to do a look back in the Disney era, since Disney bought Lucasfilm, of the 5 best trailers that we got from Disney Lucasfilm for anything, not just movies, because movies, there are 5 Disney Star Wars movies right now. That would make for a very boring list. It would just be the order of them that would matter. But I decided to include the TV shows and the video games in there, and the High Republic too, but that's not on either of the lists. And I said either of the lists because Jacob was kind enough, he's a trooper, to provide me with his list and his this month for this week's 1/4 portion. I'm gonna do my accent later, I guess you could say. Yeah, so thanks to Jacob for getting that into me, and so I can record this episode. This is so weird. I guess I totally forgot to say I'm Eli. Welcome to Star Wars in a Galaxy, watching all the Star Wars we can get our hands on. Yeah, this is, I guess, another special episode, you could say. Yeah, so let's get into this. What's going on? I'm just looking back at the editing. I say iconic so many times in this, episode that I am going to do a little editing challenge for myself. I am going to put a ding in every single time I say the word iconic, and I'll let you know my final tally, because it's way too much, and I want to stop using it, so yeah. Funny enough, Jacob and I both have the same number 5, so I'll discuss our number 5, which is one of the first trailers, I think, released in the Disney era for Star Wars, which is the first trailer for Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens. There's so much to like about this trailer. I was just, pulling it up on my computer over here. Man, there's so much to love about this trailer. I remember watching this trailer. It was mind-blowing. We get those cutaways with Rey and Finn, and we get to see their stories begin, and there's so much nostalgia, and the music was really, how they edited the John Williams music into that trailer is the really magical part of this trailer. Not to mention the nostalgia. The nostalgia is ringing through with this trailer. It is, and it reveals a lot without revealing a lot. You know what I mean? It reveals, it shows that the old generation is back, but they're not the same as they used to be. It shows that it shows this new generation, Rey and Finn and Poe, and the struggles that they go through. I know a lot of people have various different thoughts about the sequel trilogy as a whole, but Jacob's veering more negative, and mine veering way more positive. But there's just the excitement in this trailer right here. I remember watching it, and I remember being hyped to see The Force Awakens. And let me tell you, that movie did not disappoint. In actually either of our opinions. I know both of us, Jacob and I, both think very, very, very highly on The Force Awakens. I'm trying to think. Let's go back through the trailer. Let's do a play-by-play of the trailer. Actually, let's look at this. So we see Rey, and she's scavenging in the Jakku desert, and we see that iconic shot, which is mirrored again in The Rise of Skywalker, of Rey and BB-8 strolling through the Jakku desert, and we see like the desolate life Rey lives and all of that kind of stuff, and we see Finn deserting the First Order, who's gonna wipe out the stars from the galaxy. We see that iconic shot also. That's the great thing about this trailer, is it screams iconic. And that shot of the TIE fighter falling down to Jakku, we see that very, again, I'm overusing the word iconic right here, but I think it's for a reason, because the shot of Kylo Ren watching the beams from Starkiller Base go to destroy the Hosnian system, and of course we get the "I will finish what you started" with the Vader mask. Oh my god, I'm just going back through this trailer and getting so much nostalgia from it. And we get, I remember watching this in the theater for the first time, and in the trailer, honestly, too. The Falcon flying through the debris, being chased by TIE fighters. We get one of my favorite lines from The Force Awakens, one of my favorite exchanges from The Force Awakens. There are stories about what happened, and then Han going, "It's true. All of it." That's such a great exchange. And then we get some more shots of Finn and Poe and X-Wings, and showing that the excitement is back, and Rey and Finn running away from the explosion. Let's see. Kylo and Phasma on Jakku. Rey in the forest. Chewbacca, Han, and Finn in the... Wow, this is a great trailer. I forgot how awesome this trailer is. And then, of course, we get the Force Awakens title. I don't think this was the first time it was revealed, but, still a very good title. Perfectly describes the movie in its essence, is what I was gonna say. That was a shorter one because Jacob and I had the same number 5. Let's get to Jacob's number 4, actually. Let's look at Jacob's number 4. Jacob told me his number 4 is the first official trailer for Season 1 of The Mandalorian. I actually remember Jacob and I were together when we watched this trailer for the first time. Actually, I'm not sure. I think I might have watched it before he did. But either way, I remember showing this trailer to Jacob. And this trailer is a weird trailer because it's the opposite of Force Awakens. It's very much not the same. It does not crave nostalgia, well, as much. It's a different trailer. This was not on my list, but I agree that like all of the trailers on Jacob's list are valid. And I like a lot of those trailers too. Mandalorian is an interesting one. We got I gotta stop using the word iconic, people. The shot of the stormtrooper helmets on the pikes, which shows that we're really in for a different kind of Star Wars, which is awesome, and I love that about the Mandalorian. And we get the shot of the Razor Crest flying over Sorgan, of him walking in. Oh, we get the shot of him handing in all the bounty pucks with the calamari flan, and we get our shots of Greef Karga, and we get our shots of Cara Dune. One of the craziest things about this trailer, I remember, no one knew about Baby Yoda. Like, nobody. It wasn't revealed in the trailer. I mean, that's obvious, but like, it's so crazy how Baby Yoda changed the show. We have Cara Dune in here. We have some shots of Xi'an and Gideon, who doesn't even appear until the 7th frickin' episode. I mean, what the heck? What a reveal. And this trailer really is something else. We have the Mandalorian cornered against the stormtroopers in that scene in the client's office. We have the Mandalorian IG-88. We have, of course, the iconic shot of, wow, I gotta stop using the word iconic. Man, this is really killing my vibe right now. Of the vibrant cord in the door when he splits the guy. I remember seeing that for the first time, and I thought, wow, this series is going to be something different. I've never seen such an innovative use of technology of the universe. And of course, we have our very famous line from the client himself. Let's see if I can do my best Werner Herzog right here. Bounty hunting is a complicated profession. Don't you agree? Yeah. Oh, such a good trailer. I appreciate number 4. My number 4. Let's look at my number 4. This is an unorthodox one. I'm not gonna tell you that this is like everyone's pick for like the best trailer ever. And that's the trailer for the as of yet unreleased video game Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. I'm not talking about the reveal trailer because that one's very, very brief. I'm talking about the gameplay reveal. I don't know if I've talked about this on In a Galaxy that much, but I've always felt this way. I love stuff that includes all 9 episodes of the saga. That feeling of completion, that feeling of having everything, of seeing, going from Jar Jar in 1 to like Babu Frick in 9, and like I love that feeling of completion, of having a full story, of having that full tapestry, as Alden Diaz from Octo Radio would put it. And that's what I love about this trailer. We get to see stuff from every single Star Wars movie. How amazing is that? We see the twin sons from 4. What else? We got Luke training on Dagobah from 5. We have also Luke versus Vader from 5. We skipped 6 for some reason. I don't know why. It's the best Star Wars movie. We should never skip 6. For Return of the Jedi. We have the pod race from 1. We have the Battle of Geonosis in the arena from 2. We have the Mustafar duel in 3, and then clones fishing out Anakin. And by the way, we've covered 5 Star Wars movies already, and we are exactly 25 seconds into the trailer. This is what I'm saying. We have Vader in a Rogue One-esque moment, but I think it's actually A New Hope. We have Leia's transmission from also Episode 4. Luke in and outside of the Death Star, flying and just on the ground in the Death Star from A New Hope. We have Luke lifting the X-Wing from 5. Finally we have a speeder bike scene from Episode 6. We have the barge scene from 6. We have, this is fun, we have the Leia arriving on Takodana from 7, and she forgets her hairpiece, so she has to put on the right one. We have Rey finding Luke and with the cloak and the porgs, and they stole a cloak. That's hilarious, from 7/8. We have Poe with BB-8 from also Episode 8. We have Rey training on Pisana and dueling with Kylo Ren on Kef Bir from 9. And again, we are a minute 10 seconds into the trailer right now. We've successfully covered all 9 Star Wars movies in Lego form. I was a big fan. I've actually played all the Lego games. I played Complete Saga. I played the Clone Wars. I played The Force Awakens. This is the video game that's excited me. This video game excited me when it was announced. It was announced around the same time as Squadrons, and we were hyping up. And I know Squadrons has been released now, and I played it, and it's really good. But this video game hypes me up even more than Squadrons. Probably 5 times as much as Squadrons. I'm excited for this game 5 times as much as Squadrons. We have some other cool shots. We have Luke and Leia. I'm just going through the trailer right now. We have Luke and Leia and R2 and 3PO watching the Falcon at the end of 5. We have we have Padme and Anakin being carried off to what they think is their death in 2. We have Lando and Chewie and Janna and Finn in the Falcon, and Rey with her new Rey Skywalker lightsaber from 9, and the Falcon on Bespin. We have shots, and again, it's just the iconicness. I need to stop using that word. It's the stuff we love from all the 9 movies. And there's the Rancor from 6, and then there's there's Rose and Finn on the AT-ST from 8, and Poe blasting Stormtrooper TIE fighters from 7, and what's that? R2 no, that's the Falcon up against Star Destroyers, I think, in 5. Then there's the crew and the Falcon. Yeah, that's from 5. We have the Duel of the Fates from 1. We have Finn and Janice Charge from 9. I know I'm listing a lot of stuff. We have, it's just the iconicness of, and again, I keep saying that word. I can't limit myself. It's a bad sign. It's just that, like, this is the most nostalgic trailer probably on this list because of that. It's just a video game, so I think a lot of the TV and the movie content is better, but like, you gotta talk about this. Jacob's third one. We're talking about the Rebels mid-season 3 trailer. I completely forgot about a lot of them. I mean, I didn't forget about them. I just didn't include any of the mid-seasons on my list. Spoiler for my list. And again, I know I'm gushing a lot about a lot of these trailers, but there's a lot of stuff to love about this trailer. The hallmark of this trailer, for people who don't remember, the Rebel Season 3 mid-season trailer, we're talking about, this is the warning from the holocron that keeps repeating, and it's torturing everybody, and Ezra goes to see what it's all about, and the holocron's still controlling him. We get stuff on Geonosis, foreshadowing the Ghost on Geonosis episode. We get a shot, and it's all about how the Empire is getting better at doing their stuff, and they're really zeroing in on the Empire. We see Mon Mothma and the formation of the rebellion before we officially see it in season 3. We see a lot of Thrawn in this trailer. We see a lot of Thrawn in this trailer. We also see what's going to eventually be Trial of the Darksaber and Legacy of Mandalore, 2 of the best episodes from the series. And Sabine, remembering what family is. We also see some Saw stuff. It's mostly Sabine in this trailer, though there is some other stuff in this trailer. And then we get our biggest reveal of this trailer. I remember how hyped I was when I saw this.
You're in the wrong place, Ezra Bridger.
And it's the hyping up of the Obi-Wan Maul duel in Twin Suns, which is my favorite episode of Rebels. And I remember when I saw that, and I'm like, they're bringing Obi-Wan into Rebels. They're bringing Obi-Wan into Rebels, people! Like, it was mind-blowing. It is, and like, I'm looking at the comments on the video, it's all about Obi-Wan. That entire thing is about, Obi-Wan, and it should be, because he earned that in the trailer, and Steven Stanton did a surprisingly very good job at doing his best Alec Guinness 2 years before he Alec Guinnessed his Alec Guinness. I really enjoyed the mid-season 3 trailer, and I'm glad to see Jacob ranked it at number 3. This is so weird. It's so weird not doing it with him and having his constant feedback. I'm not sure if this counts as a trailer, but I think it counts as a trailer. And it's the longest trailer on the list because it's not really a trailer as much as it is a I guess it is a trailer. I think it's a trailer. And I have only a couple words to say to you.
Hi players, this is John Boyega, and this is Star Wars Battlefront 2.
I remember when this trailer came out, and I wanted nothing more in the world than to get my hands on this game. I know it had a rough launch. I know there was microtransactions. I know all of that. I know people didn't like the story. I actually kind of did like the story because I love Iden Versio and all those characters. Those are good characters. But man, did this game live up to this trailer, I gotta say. You could play anything. You could do anything you want in this game, and I love Battlefront 2 this day just because of that. The first Battlefront, I've also played the first Battlefront, it was only original trilogy era, and it didn't really feel like Star Wars, I gotta say. It really didn't. It felt like you're playing in a Star Wars diorama or something. But the immersiveness of this game, I could talk so long about why I love Battlefront 2. It shows locations in Battlefront 2 at launch, 4, and Battlefront 1 at launch, 4, locations Battlefront 2 at launch, 18, heroes, 6 at launch for 1, and 14 at launch for 2, vehicles, 11 at launch for 1, and 9 at launch for 2. That's crazy. I mean, I remember, and they also talk about their DLC, and we see their multi-era thing. We see Camino and Yavin 4, Starkiller Base. They really got the multi-era stuff right. I gotta say, I love this stuff. And they show all the locations that are in multiplayer: Death Star 2, Kashyyyk, Jakku, Endor, Hoth, Camino, Starkiller Base, Yavin 4, Mos Eisley, Takodana, and Naboo. What a stacked list of maps for Battlefront 2. And it only got better with their additions later on of Geonosis and I'm trying to think what else. Wow, I'm blanking on Battlefront 2 history right now. Asian Kloss and Crate and all of that good stuff, man. I am a huge fan of Battlefront 2, and I remember seeing and they added the class system back. They added Assault, Heavy, Specialist, and Officer. They added like all these new weapons. It's so cool. They added reinforcements and ships, and my personal favorite, heroes. They added Rey and Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader and Maul, and you know, later in DLCs they'd add Count Dooku and Obi-Wan Kenobi and BB-8 later on. That's crazy. It was then they introduced the Star Cards thing. I know it was a little pay to win sort of thing. I know. And then they also introduced they had 5 modes at launch, which is crazy because they had so many more modes adding on. Starfighter Assault and Heroes vs. Villains and Galactic Assault. And, sorry, I'm gushing about Battlefront 2, but that game was and is so amazing. And then they introed the story, which I know a lot of people don't like, but I dig Iden Versio. I love her character story. I think she's quite possibly one of the best characters ever introduced in a video game for Star Wars. Man, I've been going on for a long time. Oh yeah, they will also serve as the announcement for the Crate DLC with the Crate map and Finn and Captain Phasma in hype for Star Wars Episode 8: The Last Jedi. Man, oh my god, it's just like I'm so sad that this game is no longer receiving live support. I wanted the Ahsoka and Ventress and Mandalore, and like I wanted more sequel trilogy content because they gave us a map from the sequel trilogy where a battle never was fought. Like, come on, DICE. And it pains me so much that we don't have more content from this game. It's really, I'm really sad about that. I've been harping on about Battlefront 2 for way too long now. That's my number 3. Let's go to Jacob's number 2, which is another Rebels mid-season trailer, but this time we're talking about Season 4. This was the final trailer ever released for Star Wars Rebels. I actually gotta admit, I don't remember this trailer a lot. I was looking at it. It was a very Episode 9 thing of how they looked back on Ezra and Kanan's relationship and how it was all coming to a close now, in more than one way, actually. Half of the trailer is just retrospective. More than half, actually. Let's look. We're looking at, it gets into original stuff. I'd say 125 out of the 235 that the trailer is, so there's not a lot of new stuff, but I understand the nostalgia, and I appreciate that. We get our first glimpses of the World Between Worlds before we knew what the World Between Worlds was. I remember actually when I saw this trailer, I'm like, yeah, so Kanan's biting it, right? And of course he did bite it. It was a little obvious seeing it coming, but the way they did it was so elegant and so just sad, and poetic and so great. This trailer, you know, I don't have a lot to say about this trailer, but we get to see a lot of stuff, hyped up stuff from the World Between Worlds especially, which I don't really think anyone knew what the World Between Worlds was gonna be, you know what I mean? It was such a mind-blowing... it was such a mind-blowing revelation, and this was just giving us some tastes onto what the Star Wars Rebels World Between Worlds madness could be. That's still one of my favorite episodes of that show. I'm sure Jacob could totally rant about it more than I could. So I'm sorry about that, but you know what? It's all good. Let's look at my number 2, which is the first trailer for Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. I guess you could say the teaser, the one that with the tagline, every generation has a legend. And man, let's talk about this teaser. Regardless of what your thoughts are about the final product, I personally love the Rise of Skywalker's movie. I know a lot of people don't, including Jacob. But let's just talk about this trailer. And of course, the first thing we gotta talk about is the flippy jump. That Rey does onto the TIE Fighter with that tagline, every generation has a legend. And she does that incredible flippy jump. And I remember when I saw that for the first time, my mouth was dropped to the floor. I was just like, what is happening here? And we get to see the Best New Legacy with Rey and all of those people. I had to drop my Ochi reference in there. Going to Kijimi and Kylo Ren clotheslining the guy on Mustafar, and we get to see the shots of repairing Kylo's mask, and the new shots of Finn and Poe, and the light speed, and the explosions on Pisana, and the ship going down, and Rey hugging Leia with the medal, and oh my god, what could make this trailer any better? Oh wait, they're all together for a final adventure, and oh wait, no one's ever really gone. They're staring at the Death Star, and Luke says no one's ever really gone, and that's when we get our revelation. We go close to a black screen, and the Emperor cackling. I remember when I first heard that, I'm like, it can't be. They didn't bring the Emperor back. And nobody, and they can't bring the Emperor back. And then I heard his cackling, and oh my god, they brought the Emperor back, and we get to see the final shot, which is the official title for the installment of Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker, which I remember there was a little bit of controversy around the name, and I'm like, my opinion was like, hey, this is their saga. They deserve a name for themselves, the Skywalker saga. And I also remember watching it with the celebration thing, and we get our famous line from Ian McDiarmid, which will go down in Celebration history, I'm sure. Roll it again. And then they roll the trailer again, and oh my freaking god, The Rise of Skywalker, the teaser, is one of the best Star Wars trailers ever, and that's why it's my number 2 on that list. Let's get to Jacob's number 1. And it was an interesting choice. This is an interesting choice, and it's a very minimalist trailer. There's not a lot to this trailer, but what it does give us is so good, and Jacob ranked it as number 1, and I can see why. And we're talking about Clone Wars Saved. July 19th, 2018. We see the missiles flying above all of the helmets of the clones we know and love. I'm pretty sure it's a moment just animated for the trailer, and man, does it deliver. And we get our tagline, "The war left unfinished until now." We get our shots on Anaxes, and we realize that the show that we lost is coming back for one final season, and it can't be better. We see the Clone Wars logo flash on, and and Anakin asks Rex what he's bringing him back from the ship to the ship for, and we see Ahsoka, and that's when we get our hashtag Clone Wars Saved. And man, Jacob probably has a different story, but I remember seeing this trailer and I just like, I couldn't believe it. Other trailers were like, awe, and I described the Rise of Skywalker trailer with awe. This was disbelief. This was, wait, my baby, the Star Wars that I hold, like, some of the Star Wars that I hold dearest to my heart, the Clone Wars, is actually returning. It was a moment I'll never forget. It was a moment that I will never, ever, ever forget as a Star Wars fan. It was such a fulfilling, it was such a fulfilling closer to the war left unfinished until now. And seeing this trailer was something I can never really describe. I'm really sorry. I'm at a loss for words about this trailer because it's so indescribable. The joy and the hype. Jacob can probably say it better than I can. But yeah, I guess it's time to talk about my favorite Star Wars trailer in the Disney era. And it's a surprising one, I actually think, but like, oh my god, it's such a great trailer. We're talking about the Season 3 official trailer for Star Wars Rebels. Battles leave scars. We see Ezra and Kanan adjusting to how Malakor's impacted him. Ezra by way of the Sith holocron. Kanan by way of being blind and having to do everything blind now. We get our first glimpse at Wedge and Tilly's. We're going to see a Wedge origin story this season. I remember that episode. It's such a good episode. The Achilles and Distraction. They're rescuing Hondo from Reclam Station. That's cool and all. We get to see the battle droids from the last battle. Again, see, the first half of Season 3 has some stellar episodes. And we see One Last Glorious Day in the Grand Army of the Republic. We see some more Mandalorian actions with the episode Imperial Super Commandos. I'm rushing through the trailer to get to the point that everyone knows I'm going to talk about, because this is why the trailer is great. We start hearing organs being played. We start seeing the Empire's might. And we see Governor Price for the first time. She's gonna take full charge in eliminating the rebels from the Lothal system. And she needs someone who thinks differently. And Cham Syndulla says that these attacks are coordinated and they're better planned, and the Empire seems to be anticipating their every move. And we get a close-up, and we hear our first glimpse at the new villain for Seasons 3 and 4 of Star Wars Rebels. Here we go. Terrible impression coming on.
To defeat an enemy, you must learn them. Not simply their battle tactics, but their history, philosophy, art.
And that's when we learn that Grand Admiral Thrawn is coming to Star Wars Rebels. I was watching this. I was on my bed when I was watching this trailer on my computer, and I was sitting on the edge of the bed. And when Thrawn came out, I fell off the bed. It's just what happened. I fell off of the bed because I could not believe that they got Grand Admiral Thrawn into Rebels. I'd read the Thrawn trilogy. I was a decent Thrawn fan. The new canon has only made me appreciate Thrawn more and more and more and more and more. But the possibilities, we called our last episode Rada the Hutt walked so Baby Yoda could run. Thrawn in Rebels walked so Maul in Solo could run. It's just the truth. We saw what the new canon could do with characters that we loved from Legends, like Thrawn, like making Kanan into a sort of Kyle Katarn-esque character. Like, there's a bunch of KOTOR references in Rebels. There's, even bringing Revan back in the 9 visual dictionary. That's all possible because of Thrawn and his impact, and we get some Bendu action and all that, but everything is overshadowed by Thrawn vowing to pull the rebels apart, piece by piece. They will be the architect of their own destruction. Man, I loved this trailer so much. Oh, we see the Sabine with the Darksaber, but I don't even care at this point because Thrawn Roto. Man, such a good trailer. I've been ranting about this for so long. And that's our list. In recaps, Jacob's list in order. Number 5, Force Awakens trailer. Number 4, Mandalorian Season 1 trailer. Number 3, Rebel Season 3 mid-season trailer. Number 2, Rebel Season 4 mid-season trailer. Number 1, Clone Wars Saved trailer. My list goes accordingly. Number 5, Force Awakens trailer. Number 4, Lego Skywalker Saga trailer. Number 3, High Players, this is Star Wars Battlefront 2. Number 2, the Rise of Skywalker trailer. And number 1, Season 3 of Star Wars Rebels official trailer. And yeah, I thought it would be nice to inject some positivity into the Star Wars fan base, hopefully. I know this Mandalorian Season 2 sneak peek was a little bit disappointing, but I think Mandalorian Season 2 is going to be worth it, and I'm excited to see what reveals it has. Now let's get to everyone's favorite part of In a Galaxy.
One quarter portion.
And it's this month for this month. And Jacob provided me with his. He said to me, he texted me, I just finished Last Shot. I think it's very interesting and cool seeing a bit of L3's perspective, and the story of the beacon is neat. I don't know what that is because I haven't read Last Shot, but I think he's talking about. I know there's this thing called the file length redux transmitter that's a major plot in the story, so maybe that's. But he says the narrative style of constantly switching between different points in time made it difficult to follow. I am starting to reread from a certain point of view as well. I should probably start doing that in preparation from a certain point of view to Imperial Boogaloo, as I'm calling it. Which both of us, I've discussed this with him. Both of us are so hyped for that book. I think it is a real treat and one of the best Star Wars books to come out since Disney took over. I might bargain that from a certain point of view is the best Star Wars book, the best canon Star Wars book. Don't at me. Yeah. It was great hearing what he's doing this month, and let's talk about what I am doing, what I'm looking at Star Wars this month. We're talking about spoilers, so I'll leave a timestamp in the description if you don't want spoilers from the new comic Darth Vader number 6. Go to the timestamp that I put in the description because I'm going to be spoiling Darth Vader 6 because I love. I'm not a big comic reader, and I just picked it up. I just picked up Greg Pak's Darth Vader comic because I'm excited. And basically, the plot of the Vader comic is that so in the first 5 issues, Vader's been on a mission after he found out that Luke is his son. He was in a skirmish with a lot of Padme's old allies on Naboo, Sabe and Rick Olie and all of those people. And the Emperor's like, dude, have I taught you nothing about dark side? I need you to dark side more. And Vader's like, really? And he's like, yeah. And Palpatine's like, yeah. And so he tortures him a bit. I mean, he really tortures him. Like, he cuts off his arms and zaps him with lightning. And he's like, okay, so Amida over here, Mas Amida, my boy, go ahead and drop Vader off the same place that I found him on Mustafar. Make him suffer. And Palpatine drops him off, and Mas Amida on the way on the ship ride back, he's like, so I think he's gonna be pretty angry. And Palpatine's like, yeah, I think he is too. That's why I sent a Sith assassin after him. But not just any Sith assassin. Who else but Ochi of Bestoon? You see why I bought this comic now. We got one precious panel of my boy Ochi in a sweet suit of armor. And I'm so excited we're getting in a couple weeks the 7th issue of the Darth Vader comic, and we're gonna see more of my boy Ochi. I'm so excited that Greg Pak wrote Ochi of Best Student into the Vader comic. I'm way too hyped about that. I know, I understand. It's kind of a problem, honestly. Jacob will admit that. I will admit that. Everyone will admit that. Yeah. Oh my God. I cannot believe that that Ochi is coming to the Darth Vader comic. So cool. So awesome. So great. Let me give a little bit of a shout out. I haven't done this yet because I'm recording this early, but on Friday night, I haven't been on, but I was on the stream for Pink Milk, Star Wars LGBTQ plus podcast. They're doing streams now, and they were kind enough to ask me for more they were kind enough to ask me for more questions from the Star Wars official AP exam, link in the description. And I was there. I don't know, because I haven't done it yet. They're live fact checker. And so go check them out. They're a really awesome podcast. And they bring some really important values to the Star Wars conversation in terms of looking at it from the perspective of LGBTQ plus people. Other than that, that's going to be it for this episode of Star Wars in the Galaxy. Next week, we're going to actually be doing the back half of the Clone Wars movie. I promise. Follow us. You can listen to us on Anchor, Spotify, Breaker, Radio Public, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. Wow, I can't speak right now. You can follow us on Twitter at InAGalaxyPod. I'm on Twitter way too much on that, and you can see what I'm up to and what we're up to on there. You can email us swinagalaxy@gmail.com. Please email us. We would love to get some emails from listeners, questions, comments, all of that kind of stuff. And yeah, until next time, may the Force be with you. Always.